Hiya, it is back. It is 6:51 on Monday, the 14th, I believe. And I can't sleep. So, and by can't sleep, you might be saying, well, it's almost 7 a.m., so it's a pretty good time to wake up. But, and I would generally agree with you if I hadn't gone to bed at 4 a.m. So I've been up since 6:30. So, a little bit before 6:30 actually. So I apologize if I don't make a whole lot of sense in this video because my brain's not really working, but I wanted to do some more coloring. So I figured, what the hell, we'll do it. Anyway, so our song for this video is Andra Day. Oh, and it is Rise Up is the name of the song, and the lyrics are, you're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day, rise unafraid, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I would have kept going with that all day long if I hadn't run out of space. I love this song, especially towards the end, after she says all these really empowering things. She sings, all we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and we'll rise. We will rise. And I just love that. I love that she's like, I'm gonna rise, I'm gonna do it. And then she's like, no, we are gonna do it. We'll rise. So that's what I want to give you today, which is we will rise. Absolutely one of my most favorite songs. So colors we're using in this, we're probably going to use some more colors in this than what I've picked out, but for the moment, this is what I know we're using, which is Sunburst Yellow 917, Canary Yellow PC916, Cream, which is PC914, Light Umber 941, Goldenrod 1034, Nectar 1092, and Peach 927. And I'm gonna turn the other light on too and see if that helps with lighting a little bit. I love having smart lights just because I don't, and I'm funny because I don't tell my I don't use the voice commands. I use the app to turn things off and on because I don't like talking to it. Though I did teach it to do something cute. Hold on a second. I'll show it to you. Alright, ready? We're gonna try this. Alexa, turn me on.
Okay.
Do you hear that? Ask her to turn me on, and she blows me. Yeah. Yep, she turns the fan on. So I did that. Anywho, let us can't believe I showed you that. But I did. I show everybody that. So we're kind of just gonna do Sunburst Yellow where we want shading to be, and where we want things to kind of pop out for her. And then we're going to use Canary Yellow to kind of get everything but a center. And you can see I did kind of like test run these colors, so I apologize for that. I should have done it on the spare paper, but I really wanted to see how it worked here. And I'm giving it a little more of the canary yellow than I did in my little test run, because if you look, I had to push so hard with the cream to get the cream to stay on the paper that it ended up smearing the ink of the dots, which is okay, we can fix that, but it's still not what I wanted to do. And then we're just going to go over the whole thing with the cream and kind of mute it. See the difference between here and here? So that's what we're doing. We're just blending it out and just giving it a little bit of darkness for the shadow so it pops out. But we don't really necessarily want to see it. We don't want to consciously see like, oh, that's popping out because it has a darker color there. We just want people to be like, ooh, it pops out, you know? So, yeah. Oh, there was something, when I finished this section, there's something I wanted to read to you. So, I know we kind of concluded exposure therapy, like talking about that, but I found something new that I wanted to, oh, sorry, I'm trying to grab my sharpener here. New that I wanted to read to you about exposure therapy with people with autism, and because I thought it was really enlightening. And I was also thinking that it's probably pretty good that I preface every video by saying I'm not medical advice and not to take it as such. It is just my personal opinions and experience, and take it how you will, but it's not medical advice, and I would certainly recommend that you talk to a therapist or doctor if you need to, because I certainly don't want to get sued because I told you something that worked for me that might not work for you, or convinced you to, not convinced you, but you know, you decided not to do something very important for you. Based on something I said, I don't want that. So, anywho, now that we've said that, I really want to go, there we go. Man, I hate that. I don't even really, I really don't want the dots there. Like, I don't mind. Like, the dots are very cute, and it really does add to the dress. I just am impatient enough that I don't want to do it. I don't want to sit here with the black and go over all the dots. But we will. We're going to do that. Am I not funny? I don't want to color large blocks of space, but I also don't want to color small details either. Like, come on, lady, figure it out. There. So, let me read that thing too. So what I did was I went on Google, and I was trying to see if I could find anything that kind of supported what I had to say. And what I did was I Googled exposure therapy doesn't work for autism. And it says, traditionally exposure therapy is often considered ineffective or harmful for autistic individuals, particularly regarding sensory sensitivities, as they may not experience habituation. Right there. Habituation. I don't know that word. Reduced fear response is apparently what it means. To repeated stressors. Instead of reducing anxiety, it can lead to trauma, overwhelm, learned helplessness, or forced disassociation, which in my experience I can say is very true. Key reasons for ineffectiveness. It says for sensory processing differences, it says autistic individuals often do not get used to sensory stimuli like bright lights or loud noises. Repeated exposure can cause persistent pain and increased anxiety rather than reduction. This is true. This is so true. Trauma response. Forcing exposure can lead to severe distress, meltdowns, or shutdown, reinforcing rather than diminishing fear. That's so true. Misunderstood anxiety. Some behaviors like social anxiety may be rational responses to environmental challenges, not phobias that need curing. Oh my God, I could make a whole series on that. Autistic burnout. Traditional therapy can exacerbate burnout by forcing compliance rather than building on strengths. And then it gives some appropriate alternatives. We'll skip that part for right now. But yeah, like, one of the things I was thinking about as I read this that they did to me was, and this is very much a neurodivergent thing, is we get excited to speak and we interrupt. Is that a good thing? No. Do people like that? No. But what they did for exposure was they had like my therapist would talk to me, and I would spend the entire hour of my session and she would talk, and she would talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and then she'd go, right, and I'd start to answer and she'd run over me and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until literally it just taught me to sit there for the entire hour and not speak. And to this day, if I start nodding, like if we're in a conversation and I start nodding, read that as I've learned that you're someone that isn't going to allow me to take up space. And you know what, I don't even really like how the cream looked. So I think what we're gonna do is we still are gonna go in with the cranberry. Why do I want to call canary yellow cranberry yellow? But we're still gonna go in with the cream and cover everything over and smooth it all out. But I think I'm also going to go over everything with canary yellow too, because I didn't like how the difference, the shift between canary yellow and cream is just too deep of a shift, and we've already done enough of this now that I don't think we could really consider going to like a jasmine or a yellow ochre or something. So and those are kind of, yeah, like that wouldn't work either. But so anyway, we're gonna do our best here, and we're just gonna wing it all. Wing it all. Wing it all. Wing it all. Can't plan it out anymore. Okay, I'm done. I promise. But yeah, so I think that it was really horrid, because on one hand they're saying it's okay for you to take up space and you should take up space, and then on the other hand they're teaching me don't speak unless somebody gives you space. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like I could fight that, because if I fought that, they'd be like, oh, she needs more exposure therapy. Didn't work. And so until I learned to basically just shut up, they wouldn't stop doing it to me. And I mean, even after I stopped talking completely and just let her talk for a whole fucking hour, which was hell, like for an autistic person, an ADHD person, to just sit for a fucking hour and listen to somebody yap, and all they're doing is repeating themselves because they've run out of things to say, so they're just talking the same point over and over redundantly. Like, to just sit there and listen to that, like, hell. Fucking hell. Like, to the point that I wanted to just fire my therapist. Like, I just didn't even want to go anymore. And then they finally were like, okay, we feel like you're doing great, good job. And now to this day, and it has been almost a decade, that I still sometimes will struggle with feeling like it's safe for me to speak. And that was something that therapy taught me. So I left a tiny bit, like, see, I left a tiny bit of space for the cream, and I like that. That works well. But to leave a big space for the cream, it was not so good. So there we go. I gotta sharpen this again. I already sharpened it once. But you know, a lot of it felt like it really was contradictory a lot of times. Like we're doing this to you, and yet at the same time we're telling you, don't let people do this to you. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, like, why are you treating me in a way that you're saying don't let anybody treat you this way? You know, like, sucks. So yeah, I definitely agree that exposure therapy is more harm than good. But like I said, here I am, and ultimately it worked. Like, I'm much more outgoing, much more talkative than I was before. Though I will say I still kind of lock up in person, because my problem has never been that which was the social anxiety thing. Like, let me go back to that real quick. Where is it? Some behaviors like social anxiety may be rational responses to environmental challenges, not phobias that need curing. Oh my God, yes. Like, for me, I wasn't someone, you know, like, to this day, I'm not social phobic because I fear people or fear conversation. I dread it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to figure out how to talk to someone else. It's very exhausting, because the way that I think and the way that I say things tends to piss people off. And I'm like, but I meant well. Like, you know, and I don't process things very well in real time. So I feel that pressure. Like, it doesn't matter that you don't completely understand the assignment. You've got to say something anyway. You still got to do it. And it's very stressful for me. So I tend to avoid it. And in exposure therapy, they kept throwing me into large groups and making me talk, and, you know, and I was having meltdowns. I was having panic attacks, like, and it had to get to a point where I just disassociated to cope with it, you know. And to this day, like, I just have a whatever kind of, you know, like, whatever. I disassociate in large groups, so that's really a challenge now. Like, it feels like that's a worse problem than just being like, I don't want to be here, you know? So definitely made it worse. And not really looking forward to figuring out what all this stuff is in her tattoos. But we will. It's a beautiful tattoo work. Like, Hannah does such good work. Like, I really love her art. I seriously could exclusively, and usually do when I'm on my own, exclusively color Hannah's work. But I try to be more diverse now because I know that other people aren't going to want to see me color, you know, the same style over and over and over. So I'm trying to get a balance in between, but neurodivergent, we find something we like, we stick to it. Like, I have like 3 outfits and I wear the same 3 outfits in rotation. Like, after 3 days I have to do laundry because my clothes need to be washed so that I can have my same clothes for the next 3 days. And then I wear out my clothes and I don't know what to do, and I'm like, grieve my clothes. Like, meanwhile, I've got a full closet, you know? So it's funny. But same with my coloring books. Like, I find a style that I really enjoy and I just, like, this is my jam. I love it. So what do we do? Oh, I forgot to do a bow. I don't know why, but for some reason I have unforgettable stuck in my head. Maybe because she's kind of like old-timey beauty. Alright, so I'm going to pause here, collect my thoughts, figure out what we're going to talk about next, and then I'll be back in like 1 second, and we'll carry on. Carry on. No, sorry. Alright, 1 sec. Hiya, I am back. So I decided we will work on the background next, and I thought we would talk a little bit about the next things that I thought were bullshit but helped, which were grounding exercises and breath work. Now, and mindfulness, you know, like, I, again, was just like, that's not me, that doesn't fit my lifestyle, I'm not gonna do it, it won't make sense to me, like, and, even when I did try it, like, oh, okay, I will breathe, like, I didn't get it until I got it. Also, just so you know, I've never really done a black and white thing, so this is new for us. And I am used to working with the warm grays better than I am the cool grays. So this is an adventure for us. But anyway, like with breathing, I would just, you know, I learned in meditation, like through the Headspace app that I use. They did a guided meditation and learning to meditate. And they talked about, when you breathe, don't just breathe, but like put your whole body and energy and mind into it. Like, how does that breath feel? Like, the coolness coming in and the warmth going out, and the rise of your chest or stomach, and how you sink into the chair when you release, and things, breathe out, like things like that. And when I finally understood that that's what I was supposed to be doing, it made all the difference. Because what you're doing is you're resetting your vagus nerve. And when you do that, you're basically bringing your nervous system back online. So what I have learned to do, what I personally do is, or at least that's my understanding of it. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. And what I've learned to do is to breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then breathe out for a count of 6. And I'll tell you what, like, I use that. That's how I fall asleep at night. And I know that I'm always telling you, like, oh, I can't sleep. I have no problems falling asleep. I have every problem staying asleep once I get there because I'm in pain. But that really was a game changer for me. And as far as grounding exercises go, like, I still am not very good at the, like, sight, taste, see, like sight, taste, sound, like using all your senses. Like, I see a pink desk, I see the color yellow, I see colored pencils, I hear a fan, I smell forever cherry blossom, I taste Starbucks caramel macchiato, and yes, I am drinking it straight out of the friggin' thing because I don't have very much of it left, and I didn't feel like cleaning a glass for that little amount. So, but like, I am not. I lost my train of thought because I was like, that's so good. I wanted to start being a advertisement for Starbucks, but but I'm not very good at it. But when I do it, it does work. It does bring me to the present. I just don't do it very often. I tend to rely on meditation and breath work. I have learned there are 1-minute meditations that you can do. And once you, like, if you are on YouTube, which I know you are, you can Google, you can search 1-minute meditations, and there's a plethora. And try it out. Once you learn them, like, memorize how to do it, then you can do it anywhere. And so, like, say you start to catch yourself just spiraling, like, oh God, here I go, here's my panic, here's my negative thought patterns, here's, whatever, anything that you want to dismiss, here's my overthinking, like, whatever. You can do one of those quick 1-minute meditations and then follow it up or preface it with a couple of deep breaths, like the ones that I just explained, which, there's so many different ways to do deep breathing. Like, you can certainly search that too. But Like, the trick is to really focus on it. Like, you really have to focus on it. And once you can do that, that's great. And another thing too that I highly recommend doing is to do these things. Like, practice makes perfect, right? So if you are trying to do this in a crisis, you need that practice. You need this to be second nature to you so that it doesn't feel foreign and you're trying to make it work when you're in crisis mode, because it's not going to work. What you need to do is, when you're in a steady, good state of mind, like maybe when you like incorporate it into your routines, like every morning when you have your coffee, like sit for a few minutes and do some deep breathing and do a 1-minute meditation, or open headspace, or whatever you have. There's Calm, there's Happier, there's all kinds of them out there. Balance, and some of them are free. I think Happier is free. I think Balance does a 1-year free. So you can certainly check out those apps if you need a little help. Headspace, I will say, is on the pricey side. However, what I do, because I can't afford it full price, is I wait until Black Friday rolls around and they do a 50% off promotion. And so far, every year since I've used it, they've done that. So hopefully they continue to do so so that it's still affordable for me. But doing it that way, I think it comes out to like $30 or $35 for the year, which is not that bad. Especially considering how much I get out of it. Like, it's very beneficial for me. So yeah. What else? I know that there's all different types of grounding exercises, and if you do a Google search for grounding exercises, I bet you can get like almost workbook style grounding exercises too, and those tend to work really well for me as well. Like I showed you before in my journals, make sure not on camera, they do have that type of thing. Trying to find one. So here we go. So, awareness journal prompts reflect on how you understand your understanding of awareness has shifted over time, and how it currently supports your well-being. How does awareness mean? Oh my goodness, I can't read. What does awareness mean to you in this season of your life? And you can just kind of like write that, like as for me, like something like that would be to say, before I got into therapy, before I started to really become more self-aware, I was all over the place. Like, I had practically no awareness of the world or myself. And as I learn more and as I gain more knowledge, I become much more self-aware. I become much more aware of my situational surroundings, like what's going on in the present, and things like that. So you can fill these out. This is actually pretty cool. This one's Soundtrack of Awareness. Music often captures emotions words cannot. Explore how music can reflect your journey towards greater awareness. Think of 5 moments in your life where you experienced a shift of awareness, big or small. These might include realizing something about yourself, making a conscious choice, noticing a thought pattern, or feeling fully present. Briefly describe that. Then match each moment with a song that reflects its emotion, message, or memory. So that's pretty cool, right? Like we're kind of already doing that by doing this, you know? So like you can see that like you can do all kinds of stuff that's grounding. It doesn't necessarily have to be, oh look, my desk is pink. Something that I actually came up with, I'm looking on Google right now to see grounding exercises. I'm gonna switch to images and see. Let's see if I write workbook style. Oh, maybe you want to look for worksheet, grounding worksheet. That seems to pull up some stuff, but I didn't. You know, there are workbooks and stuff like that. So, you know, we can, if you're interested in it, let me know, and I can certainly try to help you look for it. But also, there's a lot of other things out there too that can be grounding exercises. And one of the things that I actually taught myself, that works for me, and it was based off the fact that I had a teacher that once told me that you can only store like 7 things at a time in your short-term memory. So that's why like phone numbers are 7 digits, except for like, you know, the area code, which is easier to remember. And it's also why a lot of times you'll hear people group numbers like 4622 as their phone number or credit card or something like that. What was I going to say? Oh, 7 positives. So I called it 7 positives. And what I do is when I realize that I'm starting to really slip into a negative space, I will start trying to name 7 things that are positive. And it could be big or small, you know. I love my new furniture. I am good at coloring. I had a good hair day yesterday. I love Starbucks. I love Starbucks. Like, I'm grateful they exist. And let's see what else. Pink is my favorite color. My dog is a sweetheart. And this gum that I'm chewing right now is saving my life. And funny thing, the chewing gum thing can actually also be an anxiety reducer. Also, especially if it's very strongly flavored. I know that some people have success with sour candies. For me, it's gum, specifically cinnamon. And what else? What else? Gratitude. I gratitude journal. So I have a list every day that I have to write something that I'm grateful for. And I actually also do this on my Facebook. I just started doing it, and I'll probably bring it over once I get the HCC socials running. I will bring it over to that too, where I just name one thing that I'm grateful for that day. And in my journals, my gratitude list is long every day. But it didn't used to be. In fact, it was one of those things that I thought was BS. Like, people were telling me to be grateful I had housing when my housing wasn't safe. Like, not grateful that I have housing. I would rather be homeless and feel free than I would be in a home that I feel unsafe. So, that was really hard at first, but then I started realizing, like, simple things, like, yes, I have pain, but I also have health. Like, the biggest problem that I have is pain, and it's just pain. It's not pain that's going to be terminal or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not pain from a disease that's going to potentially kill me. It's just pain from a car accident and arthritis settling in, and from a surgery I had in 2011, and things like that. And so very grateful to have my health, and like, there's always something to be grateful for. You can be grateful that the sun is shining. Like, this winter has been very gray, very, very gray, and I have hated every moment of this winter, because there was just not enough sunlight. And so days where we get sunshine, I am so grateful for that. It is the game changer. But if you're sitting and you're writing what you're grateful for, it's very hard to be pessimistic. Like, it's easier at that point to get yourself into a positive mindset, or at least for me, to get myself into a positive mindset and to really focus on what's working, what's good, like, I think it's a Winnie the Pooh statement, like, there isn't something, every day may not be a great day, but there's something great in every day, that kind of thing. Or good or something, I don't know. I got it close enough that you probably know what I'm talking about. But it was very, this is not, I just made a mess. That's okay. Hold on one second. I'm gonna pause this. Alrighty, I am back. I just had to deal with some email correspondence that I had to take care of, and that's done. And now I am free. I'm free. No more adulting. What was it, Rugrats? Like, no more responsibilities. Anywho, so what was I talking about? I've lost it. Like, I know we were talking about 7 positives, but I think we concluded that. I will say, for me, I think we were talking about grounding exercises. One of the things for me that really brings me to present is scent, which is funny because I have almost no sense of smell, but I have to have very strong scents. However, like, something has to be strong for me to smell it. So one of the things that I know works for a lot of people is peppermint oil. Like, just keep like a vial of it with you, and you can just snort some whenever you're feeling not literally like, just smell it, and that might help. I personally have a Bath and Body Works addiction because of it. And also because I'm poor and they do like killer sales and free stuff. Like I just got a they just did a sale for $5.95 for all full sized. So I was able to pick this up yesterday. Can you see it? And then this was a birthday reward. So when my birthday came up in March, they gave me a full free size, so I got that. Very cool. Definitely recommend getting the app. It is loaded with freebies. Practically every month you'll get something free, even if it's just the trial size, which also lasts quite a while. I actually got this with my last small freebie. It was anything of value under $8.95, and this was $8.95. So I got this, and of course now that I've touched it, I need to use it. So I got this one because it was literally, it says twice the breath fresheners, and I was just like, ooh, it's gonna be strong smelling. So I got that, and it's vanilla mint, so peppermint. So I was like, oh, right under my nose, and it'll be really strong scent of mint. Like, yep, that sounds like a really good idea. So I got that, and then let's see, is this? Oh. I don't know, you guys. I wish there's this girl in one of the groups that I'm in, and she consistently knocks things out of the park. Her initials are AT. If you know, you know. I don't want to name her because I haven't asked her permission. But if you know her, then you know who I'm talking about. Like you know what I'm talking about. Like, her talent is out of this world. And I wish she would do tutorials because I would watch those. She is amazing. And I wish I knew how to do this better so that it looked more authentic, but I don't. So is what it is. It'll still look cute. It just won't look real. But I mean, does any of it look real? So I have had to just accept that's not my style. Like, realistic is not my style. I don't have the patience. Like, one of the things, like, I'm actually when I give it like half an effort, I'm pretty good at drawing, and I have zero skill sets for that. Like, I've never looked into how to draw or anything. So I think that's funny, and people are like, well, why don't you draw? If you can color, why don't you draw your own pages? And I was like, my interest just isn't there. I like color. I don't like, pencil and paper, like, which is funny because I also am a writer, so I journal all the time. It's just strange to me that that's not one of my creative interests, because you'd think it would be. I feel like it should be. And I don't know what I'm doing right now. Send help. I have all these grays on my desk, and now I can't remember which gray I used. So, is it this one? Looks like it. Alright. So this is 30%, and then we're going over it with the 10% to get the lighter shade. And I'm trying to do that like about here-ish. Like, see where my lighter areas are. Like, I'm trying to keep the lightness where I did it for the pinstriping. So what were we talking about? Oh, scents. Yes, scents are very, very good to bring you back to present, I feel. It definitely works for me, and has helped so much with my mental health. It really has. And something else, and that's also something that I didn't believe would work. Like, we had an IOP class where they did this thing where they would have us close our eyes and then identify the smell that they were putting in front of our noses, and I did not like that. 1010 did not like, because I didn't like losing the control of not being able to see. So it was far more it was just not for me. And I wouldn't say it was traumatic. It wasn't traumatic. It just was uncomfortable. And so here. Oh, that's pretty good. This is the 30%. Oh, that's the 50%. So 30. There is this song, and I wish I could play it for you because it's stuck in my head. It says something like, and I don't even know if I've got the lyrics completely right, which is like, that's not for me. That hate, that doubt, that jealousy, you can keep that over there. And I don't know why it's stuck in my head, because it doesn't really, it's not something that resonates with me. Like, I don't have any of that going on in my life, other than to say I don't have any hate towards anyone, and I don't really have any doubts right now, and like, I'm certainly not jealous of anyone, and I don't think anyone's jealous of me, to be honest. So I don't know why that's glued to my brain today, but I think it's just because it's a catchy, like, the way she sings it is very catchy. I enjoy it. So there. What do you think so far? Do you like? I hope so. I think it's actually coming out pretty cute. Like, it's honestly coming out better than I expected it to. Not as good as I would like it to, but much better than I expected it to. I really need to start watching tutorials. I was thinking one of the things that I could do is to pull up a tutorial for someone. Like, I have to ask their permission. Like, if it would be okay if I promoted them and used their video, and instead of having talk, like, find a song that YouTube will let me use. Like, there's got to be something. Like, even if I, like, there's all kinds of free use songs, so I might have to use an old song, but I could just do like a time lapse and put music to it. Like, I thought that would be kind of cool. That way I am still making content for you guys, but I'm learning at the same time, so we can learn together. I was thinking, like, I can watch the video while you watch me do the video, because I don't think it's fair for me to put their video on my channel. That's their content, you know what I'm saying? So so I don't want to, like, because I could put like my other screen here so that as I colored, you could see what we were doing and I could talk, and you know, but I don't think that that's fair. I think that I would rather see you go support that person and give them their views that they deserve, because they worked for that. So, but I do want to start doing tutorials, and trying to pick up some tips, and because we can always do better, right? We can always learn, we can always improve, and I would like to do that. I think not immediately, like, but down the road. This is the 30%. That's good. Anywho, I'm just kind of thinking about some of this, like here. If I want to try to get the shading in there, but I also don't want to lose the sculpting on the sides. So I was kind of thinking, how am I going to do that? But I think we managed it. There. See how we shaded it? Alright, I need to pause for a second. I will be right back. Alright, I am back. So I think we're gonna talk a little bit less and work a little bit more, because we're at 57 minutes here, and I feel like that's more than enough time to be listening to me. So I'm gonna try to bang this out quickly so we can conclude this video. I've pretty much talked about all the things. No, I still have a couple more topics that we can touch on while we do her tattoos and her peppermint in her lips. So I think, I don't know, we'll see. I was gonna say, I think I'm gonna do some of this off camera because I have to do some black shading, and that usually takes a minute. But we'll see where we're at when I get there. Because I feel like I'm cheating to work off camera. Like, especially, like, I would be bummed out if someone did that and I was watching especially if I was trying to do something similar to them, it's like, how am I supposed to know what you did if I can't see what you did? Especially since you're not really telling me what you're doing. Okay, so we're gonna take 90% and we're just gonna kind of go around a few things and give it a little shady shade. Actually, that didn't take much time. I don't want to do it here because we want to assume the light's coming here, so that didn't take much time. That was actually pretty easy. And we're just going to take the 30% and we're going to pull it outward so that it kind of gives a little bit more shadow. Oh, this is 20%. I thought I had 30%. There's 30. There's 30. Okay. That's okay. We can work with this too. Alright. I think once this video is done, I'm gonna go work on my dishes. Get away from the desk for a little while, and then I'll come back probably some point in the near future. Read today, sometime today. And we will, this is 10%. Finish her off for today. Like, get all of this series out. And then I've got another series planned. I've got 2 series planned. One is on empathy, empaths. And the other one I started already, but I'm thinking it might be a little too heavy for right now. Like, it was really, so I've it was a really strong topic, so I think maybe it's another day, kind of like it's on the back burner for right now. I might work with it, but I'm not gonna post it for right now because I just want to give it, like I said when I took down the other videos, I just want to I came out the gate swinging, and I really would just rather start at the beginnings, try to start with basics, like what helped me, what didn't, what, maybe that's the next series, like things that I thought were bullshit and actually were. But I've kind of already did that because I mentioned the exposure therapy, and that was really the biggin for me. So yeah, you guys, I think the background is done. I like that. I think the colors really pop in contrast and I enjoy it. So I'm gonna also just kind of, you know what, I am gonna do this part off camera. Literally what you see is what I'm doing. I'm just randomly throwing dots. Like, can you even see them? They're just barely there. I might actually take my time and be more deliberate so that they actually look deliberate. Like they're supposed to be part of the background and not just teeth of the paper or something. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna end this. Let's pull a card. Let's see what we get. Hopefully we get a good card. Hopefully we don't get like 10 cards at once like we've been getting. Been getting like 2 cards and like one's positive and one's negative, and then you got to try to figure out what the cards are trying to say. So we shall see. Let's go. A difficult choice, too many choices, cannot decide, random thoughts. You know what, I'm gonna toss another one because I need more information. I don't know what that's trying to say. It doesn't make sense positively or negatively, really. It's just saying something is difficult to choose. Indecision, too many choices. Unless we're talking about my next topic. In that case, it's true. Too many things to talk about. The chariot upside down. I don't know what that means, so we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going until I understand something. Yeah. Tell me something that I know. I don't know what the chariot really means. I know it's a good card. Alright, here. Oh, the Hierophant. There we go. So, moral requirements, feature. What I like about this one is that it's teach and seek advice. I enjoy the duality of that. And it's a very spiritual card. I enjoy the duality that, not only are we giving our own knowledge, but we're open to the knowledge of others here. And I want that for all of us. That's why I say we. But that's the community we're trying to build. And hopefully we will build a wise council. And we will be able to teach and seek advice amongst each other. And that sounds like a good place to leave it. Yeah. Alrighty. So I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate you as a person. And I appreciate that you're just supportive of this and open-minded to it, because I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. So I really appreciate you being here, and I really hope amazing things happen for you today. I hope that it's a great Monday and you have a smooth start to your week, and it's going to be a bright, positive week for you, and blue skies, nothing but blue skies for you. All right, take care.